Hello, everybody. Sean Higgs coming at you with another Winner's Circle Sports Betting podcast. It is Wednesday, July the 31st. And here we go. Wow, the month is over. Time is flying here. And as always, Chip Chirimbes with me here, powered by GamblersWorld.net, where you can find me, Chip, 9 other handicappers giving out premium picks because yesterday, listen, Free Picks yesterday won and one Chip, never in doubt, or San Diego. I get greedy like the dummy I am for a run line on Philly plus 165. That doesn't get there, but a little work to do. We'll have 2 baseball winners. But again, the premium stuff, I go 2-0 in premiums yesterday. Chip will tell you how he did yesterday. And listen, me and him have been 1-2 the last month here. All baseball, really, for us. So get all those picks at GamblersWorld.net. These 3, 7, and 30-day packages are all guaranteed, which if we don't show you a profit, you get a credit. You come back and we put money in your pocket. That's about how it rolls here. So be sure to check that out. And also on Twitter. There are our Twitter feeds, Gamblers World, Chipper Wins, Sean Higgs. Come say hello on the X. I can't. It's Twitter. It's like the Cleveland Indians, Redskins, San Diego Chargers. Right. I can't. We don't X things out here, right? Oh, I'm going to X it out. That means it's gone. I don't want to X it. Tweeting just seems so much normal. I don't know, Chipper. We got baseball today. We got NFL going tomorrow. And like I've been saying for 3 weeks on here about the Hall of Fame game, I told you to take that under. Hi, the Bears. And nobody's playing, by the way. And the total's dropped now to 30 from 40 to 33 to 30. But anyway, how you been, my friend?
I'm good. I had another winning day at the site. Unfortunately, I lost my top play, my megabuck play, after 7 straight wins. But we're 26-6 in the last 32, Sean. So not too upset about it overall.
Is that good? 26-6. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going. You win 2 out of 3. It's a profitable day. Anytime you walk away in a plus, you have to consider it a good day. So we've got a little bit of baseball today, but a limited schedule, and we're going to go every day.
Yeah, schedule. So we do the night games. We're not coming in with a lot of noon action. So we had a little to choose from here, and I thought I got the Dodgers, San Diego. I'll be talking about. Again, you had that one yesterday. I grabbed today. Pittsburgh, Houston, I thought would be a little better matchup considering Pittsburgh's the second-place team. But the line says no. But really, you mentioned going 2 out of 3. And this is what I try to tell people. I know you're the same way. Like a 2 out of 3 day, a 3 and 2 day, oh, that's not good. That's not good. You're not going to step over $15 on the street if you go 3 and 2 in baseball with some dogs and you make a little money. Why are you going to complain about it on the site if you make a little money on gambling? People do, though. It's if you're not going undefeated 5-0, 4-1, 3-0, people are like, oh, that's bad. Okay. I mean, I find it amazing that the same person they'd walk over $20 on the street, or even just, hey, I'm just going to send you $20 because it's not a big deal. No one's doing that, but they're going to complain about a 2-in-1 day where you make money.
Sean, nobody wins every day. We're aware of that, and you have to be patient. I mean, because you don't win every day, sometimes the games just aren't there. And forcing action, I think, is the worst thing you can do, because if you force it and you get beat, then all of a sudden you're chasing and your mindset isn't correct. So it takes discipline and consistency, and you have to sit and be patient.
Like we have Olympics, we have soccer, there's golf. Now, I don't get big into golf or soccer, things I don't know. Right. I haven't jumped into it. I'm old. I'll stick with the 3 major sports that I know my whole life.
Right.
You see people coming in here. It was like during KBO, during COVID, people, how do you know KBO baseball? How can you jump into betting serious money on? Maybe there's an edge. I can't really get in on.
No.
So, listen, do I think South Sudan plus 29? Would I bet them after they battled the U.S. last time? I don't know about that. I think the U.S. will come out and maybe beat them by 40 this time. But I'm not looking to put any real money on that game.
No.
It's crazy stuff. Don't force it, folks. Okay, there's 6-day games today. You got to bet them all, especially after a deadline. You got teams that are just, all right, we're totally out of it. How do we feel? Right? The whole month was like that. Some guys know they're going to get traded. Some guys don't. The team, what kind of direction we're going. It's over. It's like after a party, the next morning you wake up like, oh, that's it. I gotta clean up now. I don't mind going light this month. I had no problem with that.
Right.
Okay, folks, we try to say that, right? We say right here in the video. Sometimes the free picks are free picks. Sometimes they're premium. We like them as well. I don't know, man. It's a tough racket.
Oh,
It's a
it's
tough
a
racket.
grind. It's a grind. The baseball season beats you down, and then now all of a sudden, bang! Tomorrow night we've got a football game, not a college game, but we've got a football game, and all eyes will be on that too.
I'm having a good baseball season all around on the sites, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like number 2 with the money, but it is tiring. Like it's like now here comes football. It's like there's no breather. You get the All-Star break, and it's like, oh, here we go. Here comes the football run because now it's getting ready for NFL. You got to start digging into some NFL quarterback rotations for preseason.
Sean,
what?
Sean,
Oh,
this is the life we've chosen.
I know, but it's just sometimes you just hit a little well. Like today, before it came out, I was like, "How you doing today?" I guess I had a chaotic day, right? I was telling you off air, I had to run yesterday, do a bunch of stuff, and it's just like after a day like that, just like, oh, here I gotta get back at it again to the grind.
Yeah,
and that's after I go 2-0 in baseball too. It's either like it was a horrendous month or season. It's just sometimes you wake up and it's like, man, it's a long one. You need a breather.
When we get beat, sometimes it's hard to get your head off the pillow when you wake up. I mean, you talk about getting up and your head feels like it weighs a ton. I carry these games with me. Sometimes it's tough to just set it aside and not let it linger.
Honestly, like a law, I could. The loss is all right. I feel okay. Like I'll get up. Like I know over the long run, it'll turn right. The winning is more where I get more a little anxious, I guess, or something. I'm like, oh my goodness, like how did you get on a run? You're like, what am I doing that I'm seeing the board so well that I'm 26-6.
They just jump at you.
I'm 10-0 in a row or 7-0. Like you go on these little runs, you're like, what's happening here? Like, and then I feel more pressure on myself when I'm like that. I'm like, oh no, should I? But I like a lot of games today. Should I do 7 games? But yesterday I went 3-0. Should I just keep the 3? I went 4-1. Should I find it more like that. The losses, I don't mind losses.
A lot of our stress comes from the decision making in itself. I mean, after we posted, what about this? The other contests we liked almost as much or whatever. And sometimes it's a flow where you'll have 3 and you'll use 2, and the big one loses, and it's not an exact science, Sean. That's for sure.
I know, and it's just like here we are, like we'll see everybody next month, right? Today we'll leave the show like, all right, everybody, I'll talk to you next month. People are like, oh, next month. I mean, it's August. I just feel like today I woke up. I'm like, man, I was just like, I feel like I've just been beat up, and I don't know why. It's I had a winning month. I'm having a baseball season. Nothing to really complain about, but it's like, I don't know. This baseball has the trade deadline sucked the life out of me because I didn't see the Cardinals sell everybody off. I don't know what it is. I just feel like ho hum today. It's just not I just feel like I need a second win with football coming tomorrow. No?
Yeah, well, you'll have it.
I know. It's like, holy cow.
You'll get it.
It's like when you're a kid, you like Christmas to come, right? Or the NCAA tournament. Like, I can't wait for the tournaments to come. It's conference tournament, and then it's like it's over, and then it's like
18 days. Yeah.
It's like, oh, the kids go back to school. You're excited, like, oh, they go back to school. But it's like I miss them. I like going to lunch with my kids and seeing them. It's like now it's like football. It's like, where's the time go? Like, where's the time go? I remember the Super Bowl. Like it was yesterday. I had like 20 kids here watching the Niners game.
I remember the first Super Bowl.
All right. Well, there we go. We'll get to the 1950s in a minute when you pull up the day in sports. People like the day in sports. We had a couple comments on this day.
Cool.
I enjoy the baseball. I mean, I love the baseball.
Yeah, well, I do too. Baseball's got so much history and go back, and there's so many different idiosyncrasies of the game. I mean, one of them today, I've got a great comment for you, and
Let's fire away. All right, hold on.
Okay, July 31st. If you want to start with that.
Let's go.
In 1930, Lou Gehrig, you remember that guy? He had a grand slam, 2 doubles, 8 RBIs. 1932, I love saying Cleveland Indians opened the Municipal Stadium. 76,000 fans saw them beat the Philadelphia A's 1-0. Back in 1932, the All-Star game didn't start until the next year. 1954, Joe Adcock hit 4 home runs and a double, and it held the standard for most total bases in a Major League Baseball game until Sean Green of the Dodgers broke it. But his 4 home runs and a double tied two other players that had had 4 home runs in a game up until that time: Gil Hodges, surprisingly to me, and Lou Gehrig once again. In 1970, this is kind of interesting, the NFL All-Star game was played. Now we have the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah.
Kansas City beat the All-Stars 24-3, Sean, before 69,940 people. The 37th All-Star game in 1970 drew 70,000 people. And the unusual stat for baseball that I want to tell you was Richie, don't call me Dick Allen, still not in the Hall of Fame, which is kind of difficult to understand, hit 2 inside the park home runs in the same day, 1972. There you go, July 31st.
You mentioned the Super Bowl champs versus the All-Stars for football back in the day. Do they still do? I remember in the 80s, they'd do like a traveling All-Star team to like Japan back in. Remember those things? They'd have like a team go play. Even for NFL and baseball, I think would do the same. They'd have like a team go overseas back in the day. Do you remember those?
Not really. I know that this college All-Star game against the defending champions. I mean, would you want your number 1 draft pick working on some? You got a pro season to prepare for, and he's going to be playing an exhibition All-Star game.
Was that what it was? Because I remember something with Jimmy Johnson doing an interview, and he said, "Yeah, I was coming back from Japan because I was with the All-Stars." And I'm like, what? I don't even remember that stuff in the 80s. I remember baseball did something like that.
There was one game, I think one of the final games, they had the Steelers involved, and they were up 31-0 at the half. And then there was a major electrical or storm, and they canceled the second half of the game. And I think that was the end of the All-Star game.
That's pretty crazy when you think about it. I mean, especially now you got guys sit out like, "Oh, I'm not playing a bowl game. I'm not going to play. I'm going to sit."
Think about that. And don't.
But let's go against these guys.
He's going through training and camp with someone else. He's not even learning your system. You got to wait until after he's played the game. Incredible that they even scheduled that.
And they said, how many? Remember, they used to have like 15 rounds of NFL drafts too. I mean, it was crazy.
Yeah. Well, there were less teams, and it is expanded incredibly.
Yeah, but I don't know. That's just good stuff. It's funny, like how things change. And of course, we have to talk about pretty soon the new rules on the NFL. You have to tell the team when you're going to onside kick. You got to let them know, hey, we're going to do this little trick play, so get ready for it.
Why don't we tell somebody a curveball or a fastball is coming? That's ridiculous.
What is that? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right, listen, we got this. I almost said games? The Steelers and the Oilers going. No, it's the Pirates and the Astros.
It's funny you mentioned that, because when I saw this and was writing it up, I was thinking I should tell Sean this should be an NFL matchup. It'd probably be a much better one. But as far as a 2-1 favorite in baseball, surprising 2-1 favorite, particularly the way the Pittsburgh Steelers have been playing. I mean, Pirates. Martin Perez is a 13-year veteran. He's on the mound. His ERA is over 5.
No, he's not. They traded him yesterday. He's on the Padres.
Don't tell me. I got it written down right here. Really?
He's got traded.
Who's throwing for Pittsburgh then? Because
Jake Woodford. Yeah.
I'll definitely continue with the over. And because Framber Valdez, he's 9-5, but he hasn't quite had the same kind of year. His ERA against Pittsburgh in 2 appearances is over 7. But he did go 6 1/3 innings, gave up no runs against the Dodgers his last time out. Boy, I had so much to say about Perez, how he's so hittable, 105 hit. Sean, you ruined my karma here today with this. But I think I have to, in total, the numbers come down a little bit. And Houston's offense all year, where's it been? I mean, and they're trading away their assets like crazy. 30-24 at home. I'm not going to lay 2-1, so I'll play the game. I'll play the total over.
No matter who was pitching for Pittsburgh today, and I think it was Perez. This is a team that you think is going to try, and they did. They brought in De La Cruz from from the Marlins. They bring the other De La Cruz.
Right.
Now they got a little Cruz middle there with O'Neill Cruz and Brian De La Cruz. How? I don't know. To me, I don't want to trade pitchers away unless I'm totally out of it as a team. I do not want to trade. The fact that the Padres say, "Oh, you want to get rid of a guy who's going to put up 5 innings? We'll take him." Now the Padres got a pretty good bullpen as well. I mean, picked up Tanner Scott there good before that. Framber, yeah. I mean, you're good. What are you gonna get from this guy? He's been consistent his entire career. He's solid. He's a guy you want to build around. Right. And you mentioned the Stros scoring runs. They could hit. It's all like 2-out hits. A bunch of meaningless hits. It's like 2 outs, base hit, 2 outs, first or third. Man, and thinking, we got to rally. Nope, we got nothing. A fly out would have been a sac fly 2 outs ago, but now it's the next inning. I don't hate the over. If I'm doing anything here, I would maybe do run line because I'm a Framber guy. I had Framber Cy Youngs last year. I really like him. And last night they had 10, 11 hits. They only scored a couple runs. Again, comes to clutch hitting, which they haven't been getting.
Yeah.
You mentioned their trade because they sold the farm there to get Kikuchi. Man, so look what these guys gave up. I mean, we talked about Martin Perez. The Padres gave up a bunch of cats to get Tanner Scott, some of their top farm system. I guess the pitching it was just such a high. What are we
priority?
Well, not only that, but the asking price for these pitchers yesterday was just out of control. Because you'd think more guys would have went. Like, why wouldn't Barrios go and Bassett go? I mean, just Kikuchi? I don't know. All right, so we're going to go over the Chip slates over the. What is it? Got 8 here in this matchup here. I got to pull it down.
Yeah, just opened 8.5. It dropped a half. So
over there, and again, that goes from Perez, who's been terrible.
Right.
But Jake Woodford, 2 starts, he's not been good. I mean, he's given up 8 hits in 10 innings. I'm not loving this for an under standpoint. I mean, Astros could come out here and be like, let's get healthy and put some runs up. Let's go. Texas, they got Texas, Seattle breathing on their heels. You better put some wins together here. You dropped 3 in a row with you. We have 3 in a row. No way they can get swept at home. You better come out with a win here, folks. Astro fans. Anyway, Chip's play over the 8. He had a winner yesterday with the Padres, never in doubt over the Dodgers.
Easy win.
Yeah, those are those ones you go to bed like, man, 5-0 the first inning. I got this in the bag. I go to sleep, wake up a 6-5 winner. Oh, speaking of your guys, I got them here. Dodgers and the Padres, Kershaw and Cease and Padres, a 135 fave. Makes sense. 8-1 run for the Friars, and what are they? 7-3 versus the Dodgers last time, taking care of business here.
Yeah.
I can't get greedy like I did yesterday on a run line plus 170. I just got to lay to 135 here. I probably should have did the same yesterday. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. For me, it's Kershaw. I mean, it's his second start back. Right. First, he goes 4 innings, 6 hits, 6 Ks, 2 walks for San Fran. I'm not complaining about that. They're decent numbers. The guy could be throwing in no-hitters. Is he going more than 5 innings today? They're not going to let him throw the ball.
No. And
I don't like their bullpen one bit. Where on the other side, the Padres, they can pull Cisa in the 5th inning and bring in a bullpen that's allowing guys to hit $160, $170 on here and strike it out 2 out of 3 guys they face every inning. The Padre bullpen is no joke. So I got a better starting pitcher right now. Listen, Kershaw's going to the Hall of Fame. That's fine and dandy. Right now, he's coming off the disabled list, and he's been frail the last few years. Last year, 24 starts, 22 starts, 2022, 22 starts, 2021. Yeah, let's rush this guy out to go 7+ innings. Not happening. Weaker bullpen. Padres are just in his zone right now. They're playing well.
Right.
Big win last night. Maybe sucks a little wind out of the sails. Dodger bullpen blowing the game. Again, you're up 5-0, 5-2, 5-3. You lose that one. No, the Padres, they're all in again. We've been saying this for a couple of years now. They're making deals, trying to go for it. They did it again at this trade deadline. I'm going to say Padres. I will lay to 135, which is like a 190 in my book when I'm at a 135. But let's go San Diego minus the 135 for me. Official winner circle play
selection. Sean, this game has got a pretty good storyline. I mean, Kershaw has dominated the Padres throughout his entire career, 46 starts, 2.12 ERA, Sean, over that period, 23-10 against the Pods. But I always like to play against a team or against a pitcher that's come off a no-hitter. And Dylan Cease was not only in command his last time out, but he was in command the time before that as well. And he might really be in a special groove. So I'm having trouble playing against him here. And particularly because, like you had said, how long is Kershaw going to last? So I'm conflicted because here's Kershaw with a great numbers against the Padres throughout his career. Here's Dylan Cease coming off the best game of his career. He's 0-1 against the Dodgers. 10 innings. He's only given up 2 earned runs, a 1.80 ERA. This number on the total 7.5 is what I have. I don't know if it's moved at all for you, Sean. And I think they're telling you with Kershaw and Cease out there that this is going to be a low-scoring game. And with yesterday's game going over, I would play this game under.
Like you, I see like no hitter, and it's like, well, you got to fade the no hitter. Who throws back-to-back no hitters? Well, this guy threw a one hitter his last 7 innings before that. Right. He threw a one hitter last 6 innings before that. Right. Both of those games, even going back to the game before that, he had 100 innings, 100 pitches thrown in these games. I'm not really worried about that. Like, I know the thought process is no hitters. You kind of just go against it. Right? It's a kind of an auto play. You can't pitch as good. You're going to be cocky, whatever the case may be. You come crashing down. Well, I mean, this guy was almost there. His previous 2 starts, he was grooving and they took him out. Now, say if he had a no hitter during those 6 or 7 innings, he might have gave up a leadoff single in the first and then shut everybody down. I don't know how the breakdown was in those 2 games where he gave up 2 hits in 13 innings. But the simple fact of the matter is, if they were just a random hit in the 3rd inning, you pull a guy out, right? So this could have been the same thing. This could have just been a one hitter if this game was in the 6th inning. Or honestly, they would have pulled him out in the 8th inning when he had 97 pitches. So I'm throwing out the no part of it because his previous 2 games were close to no-nos. Yes. I mean, like you said, the guy's in a groove. The team's in a groove. The team's won 8 of 9. It's not just him. They're playing good baseball, and they've beaten these guys 7-10. They've beaten the Dodgers, the big bad Dodgers, already. They beat them. They split with them in Japan to start the season, right? 2 games over there. They split. They hit their big free agent signing. Maybe this is the year the Padres make a little noise in the playoffs, get past that first round, right? I mean, they weren't thought of coming in as they get Scherzer, they got Machado, they get Tatis, they get Bogarts, Musgrove, whoever, Snell. Like every year it's like, they're going. This maybe now it's like they're kind of in the background and they'll have a little bit, not that they win the World Series, but maybe they get to the NLCS. Maybe they do get to the World Series and lose. Who knows? I'm on them. I like them. I don't mind. Don't worry about that no, folks. The guy said 2 hits in his last 22 innings. Not too bad. Nope. And the last game, he had the least amount of Ks. He had 9 Ks. He had 10 Ks in the game before that, 11 before that, 6 innings. I don't know. 30 Ks in, what's that, 31, was that 22 innings? Is that good?
That's very good. We'll play. That's why I'm looking to play it under.
Yeah. All right. So 2 official plays here for me and Chip. I like the Padres. I'm going to go 135 here. Chip leads to the under in that game. Pirates over the 8 versus the Astros for Chip. Those are the 2 plays. Work to do here. We're 1-4. We're 1-4. It's a tough little Monday, Tuesday here, but we'll bounce back. It's one day at a time.
But Sean, our purpose is to win our premium games more than these free games. I mean, these free games are we'd like to win them, of course, and give people a little bit of understanding of what we're doing here. But you have to understand, they're not our top choices. I mean, you go to the site and you'll get the games. You were 2-0 yesterday. I was 2-1, and yet we may not have won our free game on the air because we're here because we can get those big time primary games.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, the free picks are the free picks.
Right.
And, I mean, I know me. I want to win every game. Right. I wouldn't put on the site. I wouldn't talk about it unless I wanted to win. But as you said, these are free picks. The site picks they are. People like if you can't win this one, how are you going to win the other ones? And, man, I send these games out on a Sunday afternoon for the entire week. They're not day to day. We make little graphics and stuff like that. It's not something like Chip has where he loves this game or I love this game or that game. Sometimes I do. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes
Right.
it's a game I'm on, and it's the same thing. And I tell you, well, hey, you're going to a primo right now, and it is what it is. I mean, the premium stuff, you do see it. We have a leaderboard. You see how we're doing. Me, Chip, the rest of the crew. Baseball is up. Football will be up shortly. All right, college football right around the corner. That's what 25 days away. That starts on Saturday. So, again, 3, 7, 30-day packages. If you want long-term, you can buy a daily pack of me or Chip or anybody else here on GamblesWorld.net. Go get it. Baseball rest of the season, $4.29. That's 2+ months of action. Can't do that. And, of course, here we go, the subscribers. We can't get over that 14. We get over 14 and like 4 people leave because I offend them with something. I don't know. They don't like the way I come across, whatever it is. Or they despise the baseball history from Chip. But tomorrow, I don't know. I'm just saying, I enjoy it. I like it. Especially when you get to the 70s and 80s. At least I know most of those guys.
Right. So a lot of this I do remember happening, and or at least it had happened in my lifetime so that it was part of my growing up, the stories of the Adcock hitting at 4 home runs and the double at Ebbets Field, and the Harvey Haddix pitching a 12-inning no-hitter. I mean, you're going to school the next day, and all the kids, kids that are into sports had heard it on the radio, and we're talking about it. Who's Harvey Haddix?
Well, that's your homework today. Google Harvey Haddix. Not Greg Maddux. We all know who Greg Maddux is, but Harvey Haddix is somebody totally different.
He was good, left-hander.
We will be back next month. We'll be joined by Doug Upstone. Next month is really tomorrow, August 1st, right? So tomorrow, Thursday, me, Doug, Shipper, baseball. We'll also talk about there'll be a football game tomorrow night. Like we haven't talked about it for the last couple of days here anyway, briefly. You know our thoughts on it. We'll talk about it then. We'll be talking about Doug. He's got some interesting things happening there as well. So for Chip, for myself, for the crew here at the Winner Circle Podcast at GamblesWorld.net, have a good Wednesday, and we will see you tomorrow.